KSI vs Tommy Fury, otherwise known as the Prime Card, took place on October 14th at the AO Arena in Manchester, England. The event brought with it a lot of hype, in large part due to Dillon Danis' back and forth with his co-main event opponent, Logan Paul. Misfits Boxing took in millions at the gate and even more in sponsorships and pay-per-view revenue, but how much of the pie did the fighters actually take home? Welcome to MMA Money. Hit the like button if you enjoyed the video. Let's jump into the co-main event. If you're watching, you're probably already aware of the controversy surrounding Danis' promotion of the card, resulting in a restraining order and a lawsuit from Logan Paul's fiancée. If you're not, there's plenty of content on the topic, so I won't spend time on it here. The fight itself was bizarre, as Danis seemed more interested in preventing the knockout punch and mixing in jiu-jitsu than boxing, and was outstruck by Paul nearly 20-1. To his credit, he absorbed all of Logan's shots and never seemed hurt or wobbled. The scorecards all had Logan well ahead by the 6th and final round, but with just seconds left in the fight, Dillon attempted a guillotine choke, which led to security hopping in the ring and chaos ensued. Danis would go on to lose by disqualification. Before the fight, Logan claimed he'd be receiving no guaranteed pay for the fight and instead would be paid entirely on the back end, meaning pay-per-view revenue, while Dillon on the other hand would receive a flat fee but get no back-end pay. Dillon confirmed this, but threw in that his guaranteed pay would be more than any active UFC champion. That could mean a lot of things, but I'm assuming he was referring to their guaranteed pay, which tends to hover around $500,000. While we can't take anything he claims as fact, I'll be generous and estimate he earned a $1 million purse for this fight. As stated earlier, he didn't receive any pay-per-view revenue, and not only that, but due to his contract with Bellator, he had to shell out a hefty $100,000 cut just to be able to participate in this match, which comes out to a total of $900,000. And the winner, Logan Paul, while earning no guaranteed pay, no doubt took home a significant amount from the pay-per-view sales. While we don't have any accurate numbers to go off of just yet, it's estimated that KSI's last headliner earned around 300,000 buys, and Logan's fight against Floyd Mayweather brought in 1 million. And while no one on the card has the pull of Mayweather, I think it's safe to estimate conservatively around 500,000 buys. We can only speculate on how the pay-per-view revenue is broken out, but I'll use a 60-40 split between Paul and KSI, since it's reported that Tommy Fury also did not receive back-end pay. Based on 500,000 buys, that comes out to $4.5 million, which would also be his total pay on the night. Keep in mind that none of these numbers include sponsorships or other sources of income. And for the main event of the evening, Tommy Fury edged out KSI in a fight that saw him down on the scorecards after the first 2 rounds. It was a clinch-heavy fight, and Fury was deducted a point in the second for repeated shots to the back of the head, but he managed to outpoint KSI in the later rounds and come away with a unanimous decision win. Just like Logan, KSI likely received no guaranteed pay, but using a 60% cut of the pay-per-view at 500,000 buys comes out to a whopping $6,750,000. Although with KSI being part owner of the promotion, there may have been expenses that came out of his cut, and none of these numbers include percentages paid out to coaches, gyms, and managers. That said, it still comes out to a pretty decent payday. And the winner, Tommy Fury, kept his undefeated record intact, and according to Jake Paul, earned a guaranteed $1.5 million for the fight, although Misfits co-president Mams Taylor has refuted this number, insinuating that it's much higher. For the sake of this estimate, I'll round it up to $2 million, but if true that he received no pay-per-view, that would still make this a much smaller payday than his fight against Jake back in February. However, events in Saudi Arabia do tend to pay out at a much higher rate. And that's all for this episode. Keep in mind that the totals I've shown in this video are just estimates based on reports and past earnings. As always, hit the like button, make sure to subscribe, and click the links on the screen to catch up on the most recent videos.